How's it going, everybody? Let's see if you could spot the difference between these clips right now. That's right, I finally invested in some proper, or at least better camera equipment so I can start making some better quality videos for you guys. Let's jump into today's topic, but before we do that, I just want to say how much I appreciate those of you who came up to say hello at the GX470s Southern California car meet last weekend. Somebody told me that they appreciate my honesty in my videos, and I really appreciate that. And it just makes me have to share this mishap that I had with the last video when I was doing the oil change. You see, I forgot to put the drain bolt gasket in place on the oil pan, and man, I realized it afterwards, and it was just bothering me all week. I was afraid I was gonna see a lot of oil drippage, but I didn't see much. Regardless, I don't want that to be in the back of my mind, so I decided to try to do something about it the following weekend, and here is what that looked like. All right, guys, we're about to do something real dumb. Let's go. It's gonna splash all over the place too, but whatever. Ow. All right, are you ready? Okay, I got the gasket. It's gonna go like this. Just do it. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, my head is covered in oil. I did it. Oh my gosh, guys. Wow. I think I probably only lost like maybe half a quart. I'm certainly not afraid to be totally transparent, but the drain plug is back in, just hand tight. I'm gonna wipe around a little bit. If any of you guys forget your drain plug gasket, that's how you do it. It'll start draining out really fast like normal. Throw the gasket on and just fight the flow all the way up like you're a salmon swimming upriver. And today's topic is going to be 7 things that I hate about my Lexus GX470s. Number 1, we're gonna start out with, it's right when you walk in. Right there, boys. It's the same deal on this one. I think this is called truck seat syndrome. Some other people and other manufacturers have that issue. I have it on both of mine. Now, you guys know that I got mine for very cheap, and when you get things cheap, there's gonna be trade-offs. So basically, I will show you all of the worst case scenarios when buying one of these things. So number 1 is gonna be definitely truck seat syndrome. It just seems to be in a perfect place to where, and the truck is like a perfect height, even on the standard height, to where people just want to slide out of here. It wears down over time, and they have little things on their jeans that get caught on the leather, and it's just a bad day for the seats. These get cracked and everything, and the sun bakes them. So if I'm gonna repair this, it's gonna be new seat covers. So maybe I'll do that in another video. Comment and let me know if you wanna see that. On that same note, I'm gonna consider this part of the same number 1 is dashboard cracks. You see here, we have some cracking on this one. The rest of it is pretty clean in the off-roading GX, but let's take a look at the abandoned GX. We have this problem all over the dash, especially on the passenger side here. Look at that, man. What do they make these things out of? I think this happens over time due to the sun baking it over time or something, because this thing was sitting outside for quite a while. So that might have something to do with it, but man, the dash cracks definitely suck. And next up, I have paint quality. Now, like I said, these were cheaper GXs, so this is probably the worst case scenario if you're going out to look at one of these. Especially on the fenders. Anything that points up at the sun and that's under direct sunlight most of the time, that's gonna be beat up the most. Now on the roof here, I think I showed you in my budget video, I actually had to clear coat over this fading paint, and it actually turned out really well with the clear coat, but you can see that the damage was done, and I only did that so to protect against water intrusion or anything like that. let's take a look at the abandoned GX. This is what it looks like before you re-clear coat everything. Just nasty. This thing was sitting outside for years. I don't know what Toyota was using for paint on these things, but it wasn't great, as you can see. I know the paint issue affects some colors more than others, and most GXs were taken care of better than mine were by the previous owners, but I just wanted to bring that up so you guys are aware of what to look for and where to look for it. Also, look here. These window sills and door sills and stuff, they start fading too. Now, I did, when I was replacing these, apply a layer of clear coat here, and it helped it a little bit. It at least is gonna make it so it doesn't break through to the point where rust will start. So maybe if you're replacing these, that's a good idea for you. And number 3 is gonna be just the general ride quality versus a car with a unibody design and fully independent suspension front and rear. But most of you watching these videos aren't looking for maximum ride quality anyway. I just wanted to point that out because we're not only using these cars to go on off-road adventures. This one is meant for mama bear duty. Coming in a couple weeks, by the way, so pray for your boy. All right, let's go to the next one. And number 4 is going to be the barn door style tailgate. It opens out like this. Now, this is kind of unique and interesting, but since it is not symmetrical, or you know, it doesn't lift up and down, it lifts left to right, you're very limited with where and when you can open your door all the way. And I've gotten very good at kind of, you know, opening this and sneaking my way in here to get something, say, you know, if something's behind me or whatever. So that's definitely a consideration. If you have your back to an alleyway or something like that where people can't get past if this is open, it may be a bit annoying to have that. Now, there are opportunities with this. I've seen some amazing setups where people will make attachments that go here, and it's like camping stove cooking setups. Like you have your toolkit right here. Imagine if this folded down and you could have like a little stove top on here. Some people have come up with some very interesting solutions. Wherever there's a problem or a dislike, you know, you have to try to see opportunity, but the way it is, I kind of hate it. So that's why it's number 4 on my list. Another thing I hate about the GX470 is the foggy headlights. Now, I had to break out the headlights from my old Supra just to show how common this issue is among all 2000s and early 2000s and 90s Toyota products. For some reason, the plastic just can't take the heat. Almost every GX that I've seen that has the factory headlights that has spent any serious amount of time in the sun is gonna have this crazy yellow haze over them. Remember when you saw this abandoned one? When I was picking it up at night, it looks really rough, and now if you look at it, it looks super, super clean, even with all the paint. It looks much better, and that was only $350 to fix that issue. If you want to try to polish out those factory headlights, it will actually look really good for a little while, but then it'll go back to oxidize within like a month or so. So I was tired of dealing with that on both of these guys, and I just decided to change out the headlights. That's not great, and it's something I hate about these things, but I think it's definitely an opportunity if you are looking to buy a GX to get a lower price, since the headlights really can age the car, and it's not very expensive to fix that issue. Number 6 is the lack of Bluetooth on the early models, like the 2004 that we have. We have 2 2004s and also the 2003. Now, you guys know that in the abandoned one, we fixed that with the old Grom V-Line 2. Review on that is coming soon. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with the system and give you an average Joe review. I'm not a super professional when it comes to this stuff, and that was making me hesitate to make a review video that I didn't really know what I was talking about. But then I thought, wait a sec, that makes me the perfect person to do this review, because not everybody spends all the time looking up performance and software. Most people just want to install a system and have it work. So I realized that I'm the perfect person to do a review for that. So that's definitely coming soon. But if you want Bluetooth from the factory, go ahead and get yourself an 05 and up model. So 2005 to 2009. And of course, the last thing, number 7, that I hate about my GX470s is, you probably guessed it, fuel economy. Especially in these last few months when gas prices have gone from bad to worse. We've seen a multi-% increase in the price of fuel. I think almost double in some places. I know out here in Southern California, we're seeing prices as high as $5 on some well-placed gas stations, let's say. You could still find some 87 octane in the high 3s, but man, does that suck when you're trying to fill up your 23-gallon tank in your Lexus GX470. I guess you could say just the whole fueling situation in general. The tank is too small, in my opinion, for this rig. Maybe that's because I have put a bunch of off-road parts on it, but even when this thing was stock and I was doing a trip to Arizona, I had to stop like twice on the way over there. It's like, it's not a huge 1,000-mile trip. It's, I don't know, 400 something miles or 500 miles. So definitely the fueling situation is a problem for me. You don't have that much range. 23 gallons is gonna cost a lot of money, and it's going to be eaten up pretty quick by these rigs. Of course, depending on how you drive it. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're looking for one of these, you're going to have to pay for gas. The 2UZ FE engine, like I said in the buyer's guide video, which you could check out here, is a legendarily reliable engine, but it is very thirsty, so be prepared for that. So those are the 7 things I hate about my Lexus GX470s that I've experienced in the last several months, just getting to know them and everything. Hopefully this video helps you out in looking for your ideal rig. Let me know if you have any other questions about them in the comments. Maybe I'll make a 7 things I love too. The list might have to be a lot longer about the things that I love than the things that I hate though. I really like these things, don't get me wrong. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.